What is going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's Extreme Daily Drivers. Thanks so much for stopping by the garage. Today we're going to be working on the Jeep Commander, and we are going to be modifying this front bumper. A couple days ago, I went ahead and tackled the license plate hole area, and that's why it looks the way it does. We're going to clean this up right now with some sandpaper. But you know, basically what I did was I had 3 holes here. I guess they come from Jeep. I don't know. They hold on a factory kind of front license plate bracket. Here in Florida, we don't need a front license plate. So anyway, I went ahead and kind of sanded down these holes. And then some of the areas were so high, I went over them with a little razor blade to clean them up. I sanded them down as much as I could. And then I went ahead and grabbed this, this plastic kind of glue that I've used in the past. It works pretty well. It's not exactly how you're supposed to do this, but it does the job. You mix it up, put it on, and here we are. I've let it dry for 2 days now. It's hard as a rock. So I'm gonna grab some sandpaper. Let's go ahead and smooth these holes down. All right, so after about 5 minutes of sanding at 320 grit, this is what we wind up with. Pretty darn smooth, man. I'm pretty happy with that. That's gonna cover up nicely. So now that we got that part finished, let's go ahead and tape this bumper up because we're gonna go ahead and cut it to pieces today. That's right, guys. We are going to be chopping off the bumper of the Commander to give it a little bit more of an aggressive look. I actually should say a lot more of an aggressive look. And over the next couple of videos, you'll see kind of how the theme of this cool kind of front end is gonna be coming together. So there are lots of ways you can do this. I've been researching this for quite some time now. Lots of people do it lots of different ways. There's no kind of right or wrong way to do this. But I've been peeping on Instagram, I've been looking on Facebook, I've been looking on jeepcommander.com, ultimatejeep.com, all these websites, all these resources to kind of find what I think is going to be the best way to chop up the front bumper. All right, so I got this taped off, and I'll be honest with you, this is a little more sketchy than I actually thought it was going to be. I thought I'd be like, oh, let's just grab a saw and go ahead and cut this thing up. But yeah, it's just getting it's a little more nerve-wracking than I actually thought it would be. Now, the good news is, as you guys know, Jeep Commanders are all over junkyards. So if I make a mistake, I can easily go and get a new bumper or a new fender or something like that. If it's just ghastly, you know what I mean? But so far, this is what I've come up with. I think this is what I'm going to go with. So the idea is that we'll cut along the top of this line. So essentially, we'll be extending the arc on the front fender, coming down here, coming to the front bumper, and then essentially continuing the line down here. All this is going to go away. And then underneath, I don't know how easy it is to see here. The lighting's not great, but we're going to follow underneath and then over and then down. So all this will be out, which will be rad because it's going to expose so much of the front tire, giving it a much more aggressive look, making the car actually look higher than it really is, and overall just looking rad. You can tell, you know, this Jeep is actually in really good shape, body wise and paint wise, but the front bumper is awful. I don't know how well this shows up on camera, but it's been an issue since day one. We have deep scratches here. Previous owner shenanigans, don't know what was going on. You know, obviously I've been messing with this, so this is going to get painted today. Deep worn areas here, and overall it's just faded, dude. It's just faded. I don't know what happened there. They crashed into something. Big scratch mark there, but again, we're gonna be cutting this side, so we're gonna lose some of that. But yeah, front bumper's just rough, so cutting half of it off is a good thing. All right, I've made some slight adjustments to the tape, but I think this is where we're going. I'll show you over here. Comment below if my cuts are off. Well, here's the side, and here's the other side. Victory, but at what price, right? So I was hoping not to have to do any sanding, but I guess the sanding will be minor. This took like 4 tools to do. So basically it was cutoff wheel to get started. Once I got to this area, I think got a little sketchy. Got the cutoff wheel started here, and as you can see, made a mistake. Gotta fix that. But then once I got to this part here is where it got sketched. That's where I had to get the Dremel out. And the Dremel did what the Dremel does, which is usually just like an okay job. And I followed it through with the Japanese saw to give it as clean as a cut as possible. And then here at the end, I used the cutoff wheel. So overall, I think it's pretty decent. I'll clean it up and it'll look good. Over here, I've already kind of used the cutoff wheel to this point, and I'll just finish it off here with the stupid Dremel. All right, did a little sanding. Check it out. Huh? It is pretty clean. I had low expectations there for a minute. It turned out pretty darn good. Looks good on this side. Looks good on this side. And I am making a game time decision here. I'm deciding to go straight across in the fender. I like the idea, like I had it earlier, but I'm afraid it's going to look too big. It's already opening up a huge area here. I don't have, 35-inch wheels or 35-inch tires on here, so I think with the lift that I have, I think going straight here is a better call. I think it's going to look too big if I cut it on the angle. So, getting the Dremel out again, cutting straight across, get rid of this, and we'll be in business. All right, dude, this turned out sick. Check it out. How rad that looks. Now I know what you're thinking. Well, dude, you can see all this stuff under here now. But you know what? That's what trim paint's for, dude. I get some black trim paint. Shh, that'll disappear. Turned out rad. I cut this splash guard. I just need to zip tie it up, and then that's good. And yeah, man, it turned out pretty darn good. Need to clean up a little bit more, but really happy with it. All right, so it's time for paint. I got to take this thing off, but we are going to be painting the center part of the bumper here. I just wiped it down with our good old friend here, wax and grease remover, link down in the description. So yeah, well, we're going to tape off this section here, and this is the area that we're going to paint. Now, I use the word paint a little loosely because it's actually going to be our friend here. Old Plasti Dip. That's right, Plasti Dip is awesome. You know why? Because you barely have to do any kind of prep work, and it looks cool, lasts really long, it's pretty darn durable, and if you make mistakes, it's super easy to fix. So the reason I went with this color is look how good it matches the topo map there. Pretty rad, huh? So I think this is going to look super cool. It's going to add some contrast, and it's going to hide all this mess here. What's going on, guys? It's the next day. Commander's all back together. I want to show you the finished product. Check it out, dude. How rad is that, huh? Pretty sick. Pretty sick and killer aggressive now. Absolutely love the way it turned out. Totally worth all of the effort that went into this. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Love the way the bumper matches the graphic on the hood now. Maybe you can see it better here in the sun. But yeah, man, it turned out rad. I will say the Plasti Dip let me down a little bit here in the corners. It kind of wrinkled a little bit. I had to follow it with a razor. But you know, this front bumper is far from perfect, so I'm not going to cry about a little bit of dimpling or wrinkling or whatever you want to call it in the Plasti Dip. So pretty happy with the way it's turned out, man. Pretty happy. I'm trying to give you guys some good angles. See how it all turned out. Huh? That's a cool one, right? That looks good. And you can see I blacked everything out under here. A little bit of trim paint, like I said, makes a huge difference. So that's gonna do it for this one, guys. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think about the Jeep Commander? Next week we're gonna be dealing with these headlights and this grill. We're gonna do some rad modifications, change this up and make it look cool. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Later.